Alright, good day listeners. Today we're going to talk about how we can design a simple form, and this form is going to have a password visibility and how we can hide the password as well. This is a project that some I've received from my comment section, so we're going to build it simple and easy. What we're going to do, we're going to create a file, a simple file, and open my Visual Studio. So in my Visual Studio we have a file that I've created here. We have an index.html, we have a script.js, and this script.js, actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete it because I'm going to write internal JS. Okay, so we are not using a standard JS. So all the files I have here is now index.html, and even this external CSS, I'm going to leave it because I have styled my form. Please feel free to watch my previous video if you don't know how to do CSS and some other design. We have done some various videos that capture that. Now we're going to see this in our browser and see how it looks. Good. So when we refresh this page, this is how it looks. So at this point we can type password. Okay, so what we're going to do at the point that after you have entered your password, there should be a image that look like eyes. Okay, so when you click it, it display. When you click it, it hide it. When you click it, it hide it, and you click it when you show it as well. So we're going to do that simple application. Now coming to that, we're going to come to our page here after the div where we close a div. Remember we created a div here. Okay, and inside this div we have form. Now inside this form we have another div. Here we have label called student password, and we have input, and we'll call this input password with a name PW, and has a placeholder where they say enter password and ID called pass. So we're going to come here and we'll create internal script. Alright, this script I'm going to close it here. Then inside this script I'm going to create two functions. Okay, I'm going to create the first function I'm going to create here. I'm going to call it a show. That is to show the password. Alright, inside this function we're going to have three parameters. So the first one is going to have var x is equals to document, alright, dot get element by ID, and the ID we are looking at here is called pass. Look at it here. So put it pass here, and this pass is going to be dot type. What type of pass? Dot type dot what? The type is equals to text by default. That when you enter text, then next we'll go to the next slide. We'll define a new variable var. We'll call it y dot document dot get element by ID, and this ID we are looking at here is going to be show. I've not created this ID yet, but I'm going to show you how it's being created. Then I'm going to come and say here is going to be dot style dot display, and what is going to display is going to be none at the point of where they click it again. The last one is going to be var z, and is this z going to be document dot document dot get element by ID, and the ID we are talking about here is going to be hide, and it's going to be dot style dot display, and it's going to be equals to block. Okay, so at the point of where they click to display, it should display it. Now we are going to end it here. Now these are the three parameters we have created, and inside this I'm going to duplicate this form. One is going to be for hide, and here we have here at this point of block is going to be hidden, which is going to be none, and at this point of none is going to be block, we should show it. Then at this point of text, this one should be password instead of text. Alright, so this is how we are going to do it. Now I'm going to create these two functions as as on click. First I'm going to define an element, HTML element, call it span tag, and this span tag will have image tag inside it, and this is image tag. Remember we have two images. If you come here, If I come to a file explorer, look at it. One is eyes sys.png. So I'm going to come here and say eyes sys.png. all right. I'm going to close this image tag here. All right, close it. Now that we have closed it, I'm going to duplicate it into two. All right, this is the first one, this is the second one. Now the first one, we are going to work on it. What I'm going to do on my span tag, I'm going to come and say on click. I'm going to say what? On click. On this on click is going to have a function which we have created here, which is called what? Show. Okay, put this function here and close it. So also here we're also going to click to what? On click, which was a function called what? Hide, which we are what? Created here. Look at it, hide. All right, so we're going to come here, create that function. Those are the two functions we are working on or working with. So this last one that has to be what? Hide. I'm going to style it. It's the style equals to what? Display. I'm going to set this display. I'm going to set display to what? Hidden, which or none. Okay, that is by default. It should hide it. All right. Now this one, I was still going to style these images, because if I refresh this and check on our browser, this is how it's going to look like. You see, we are having it in this pattern. So let's continue. Then very quickly we are going to come here and say, okay, come to this place and style this image. The first one we have here is going to be what? IS8 EX8, and I'll spell this one where it's going to be what? E here. So that when we refresh, this is how it to look like. You see, they are too big. Remember, we hide the other one. That is why this one is only what? Showing. We hide this one, and the other one is what? Displaying. Now I'm going to style this image very quickly. I'm going to come here and say style, because to give it a width of 30 pixels, and also height of what? 30 pixels. Then we can come and give it a say float. Let's float it to what? Right. Then that will be fine. That will be fine. Then secondly, we are going to get this whole style here, give it to the same image here, style the same image too. And what we are going to do here, I will give this last one, give it a background color. Give it a background color. Background color should be white. All right. Now that we've given a background color white, I think we are good to go. Save this file, refresh your page. You see, this is how it's going to look like. All right, this is how we want it. Now that we have done that, very quickly we're going to check our code. Now what we have here, we've been able to create two span tag here with a function called what? Show, and the second one is what? Hide, passing it to what? And on click, which is inline JavaScript. Then we now create an internal JavaScript here by calling our function. The first one we created was what? Show. The second one is what? Hide. Now we are going to check this code and see how this application works. By so doing, I'm going to come here and go to our browser, refresh our page. Then I'm going to type. Then at the point of clicking this, you see, if I hide it, if I click it again, it does not what? Hide. So let's see the reason why it's not what? Hidden. Now what we're going to do here now, we're going to come back here, check our code. At this point we have image 8 here with the same background, float it to what? Right. Now we have it in the same way. Now what's actually going on here? Now look at it here. Here we have what? Password is going to be PASSD. Is going to be what? Block, and this is also going to be what? None. Type password. Text here none. This is also what? Block. Now let's see the actual error here that is causing this. Okay, now look at it. Reason because we are supposed to come here, give ID. The first ID here is going to be what? Show. All right, then this ID again, we're going to give the second one ID as well. Give it ID. Then this is going to be what? Hide. Now with these two argument CSS selector, which ID we gave it, if we refresh this page and type Joshua or hello world or whatever thing I type here, you see, we can now be calling what? Our function. You see how this application works. So it's very what? An interesting project based on what the request is all about. we have been able to successfully design an input, password input, where we can make it visible and also invisible, where we can display it and also hide it. So it's showing well according to how we want it. So feel free to subscribe to my channel if you love this video. Please don't forget to like and don't forget to share this video. If there's any comments, feel free to comment on the comment section and remain your friend. Good day. Thank you for your time. Goodbye.